dark? Why does it look dark? Holy crap, there's a bunch of chat and I'm not caught up. Let me look at this light. It looks dark. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my old man eyes. Is this thing on? What's happening? The music's playing. Please don't stop the music. Alright. Oh hell, where's chat? Oh, is that a swear within the first couple minutes? I'm not sure what's alright, Bobby. What's up, DC? Thanks for hanging out over on... Oh yeah, shout out to Keith Burkle. I don't want to screw it up. Burklehammer? Reef, nope. Reef Bum? Yep. He was super cool to have me on Thursday, and that was a good time. So thank you very much, Keith. That was fun. DC came and hung out. Carlos came and hung out. What up, Texan, Fragadelic, TSG, Rusties? What's going on? Hit the light. Thank you. Thanks, DC. Carlos. What's up, Bert? Oh yeah, you know what? I've done bad advice over on. So we have a couple options. We can discuss bad advice that has been provided, like putting Kalkwasser in your ATO. Or you can ask questions and I'll make up ish, which is usually what I do over on Instagram, just to have a little fun. Selfish TV. What up, Jake? Scotty. What I miss? There was a question. Oh, a whole bunch of stuff just went whizzing by. Father. Virtual pajama party. All right, she's playing video poker. That's fine. That's fair. Jake says, who needs a 2-month-old 48-inch T5 hybrid fixture G2 model with 2-month-old Coral Plus bulbs already in it? Put it out there. Cast that line, Jake. See what you get. What's up, Selfish TV? I already said hey, but hey again. Oh, snap. Just caught the stream starting. What up, DMV? How you doing, Juan? Sorry, Juan. That's public, right? Sorry. Hope I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing with that thing, because we haven't talked. I have no idea what you're getting. Semper Fi C Coral Thomas with the new school self-driving business. I'm super excited to, you could share if you want, but super excited to see how that goes, because I think I would like for technology like that to catch on. Effectively, it's just a device that you buy, you spend $1,000 maybe, and you plug it into a compatible car, and poof, interestingly, but poof, your car now kind of drives itself, which is kind of slick. Craft room mods. Wow. Tomorrow, I think a cabinet shows up for over here. We'll see. It's on the schedule. We'll see what happens. I ordered and had shipped. We'll see if it shows up. Your phosphates are too high. It's dark because your phosphates are too high. I mean, I am drinking like Bud Light out of a can, so maybe that's why. Kept cool by your friend and mine, the Coral Frenzy Koozie. The only pellet food I feed my LPS and fishies. What's up, Seth? Troy, A-Can Addict, Fraggot. We got a whole group going on here. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me catch up. Wait, there's a question. I saw all the stuff you've been collecting on Insta. Really relatable. Yeah, if you go look at my last story, I don't think I can show. Can I show stories on here? No, I can't. I can hold a picture up to my screen, but that's ineffective. We've done that. When is serial number 9 going to launch? I keep watching tweets from Everyday Astronaut because Twitter just got that much better. Calc in ATO is not bad advice. It's efficient. Juan, only if you live in a place that has no seasons. Hashtag broken record. People! If you want your alk to be unstable, absolutely put calc in your ATO. Feel free. I mean, it's your tank. I don't want to mess with your tank freedoms. Drink menu. Oh, somebody get fancy. What do you got going on, Tim? Oh yeah, see, I'm slumming it here. I'm rolling infield NASCAR right here. I don't know. I could have got some stuff. Thanks, Carlos. I appreciate that. I'm also about to sell my Trident for a KH Director Alcatronic. Yup. Who was I talking about? Salty. I was talking to somebody else about their... Carlos, when are you going to sell your Trident? I do love T5s, Thomas. Taking them to the recycle center over off Shady Grove. Hey, Thomas. Yeah, DC. Yeah. That's funny. DC and Jake going back and forth. Still catching up. I apologize. I am not reading. Hey, Lynn. I am not reading as fast as I want. Can we talk? Let's talk. Because Lynn just said hi to everybody, and that slowed everybody down. I already thank Keith Berkelhammer, Reef Bum. That was cool. That was fun. I appreciate being invited on his stream. It was really cool that I was able to help him. What's up, Rogue? With some of his lighting stuff. And because he is a die-hard metal halide guy, and I've shot metal halides with the spectrometer, and they're really interesting spectrums. Further proof that corals will adapt to like anything. But then, I get it. It works for him, and that works. Same for T5 people. If it works for you, then it works. Carlos, you going to do a little will it blend? I'm sorry you're having trouble with that thing. You shouldn't have trouble with that thing. It should be well enough vetted that you don't have trouble with that thing. Cheers to your will it blend Trident Instagram post, which would be interesting. So, don't put it on that truck. That truck's beautiful. You don't want a piece of that orange plastic flying off and jacking up your truck. Don't do that. Truck's too pretty for that. Dad, you should pay attention to Carlos's truck because it's beautiful. So, in a new house, I'm doing 300-gallon in-wall style fish room behind the tank. Jake, you're too fancy. You're too fancy for me. This is a low-end podcast with high-end equipment, and that's just too fancy. Do you agree? It is really dark in here. So, bad advice. And no, this is Lynn, I'm not throwing under the bus. This is an ongoing thing. It's been floating around for a while, so that thing should work. Anybody who buys one of those, like Jose, Richmond Reefer, his works great. His works like a champ. His works the way it's supposed to be. And there's a lot of people out there with a Trident that works. But there's a surprising amount of people out there with Tridents that irritate them. At least that's how it looks from the forums. I have not personally spoken to anyone except for through here with Carlos and Gabe, the one that I have in my garage that I have to take apart. Carlos, my dad, is more or less body off restoration. I'll show it, Jake. That's cool. Here, there's proof. My dad's doing that body off restoration. My grandmother's 76 Corvette. And it's a labor of love. One of those slow and steadies. One of those. He's paying a lot of attention to a lot of stuff. And it's going to look good. All right. Titrator on my first one got broken by but my second one has been going strong for well over a year. Yup. Hit me up in 2 years. How many times you testing? That's true, Juan. How many times do you test a day? I really want to take that thing apart and understand how the fluid gets moved back and forth. But if it is that single peristaltic, hit me up. 2 years. Want to know. Bad advice. First, if you want bad advice to a question, like I've done on Instagram, post your question. It may or may not be bad. Bad advice I see. People, and these are influential people, right? These are people that I'm paying attention to, not necessarily following, but absolutely paying attention to. They'll share opinions about equipment they've not used. I call that bad advice. Maybe not even have seen or touched or been close to. I call that bad advice. I try really hard to only talk about the stuff that I've used. And like I always say, if I haven't used it, I'll send you in someone's direction who has. Or I'm just going to tell you, I don't know. Off topic, but what kind of microphone is that? What microphone? This is a, oh hell. I don't remember. Stream something? That's really helpful, isn't it? I'm looking. See, you've thrown me. You threw a squirrel at me, and I'm going to chase that squirrel every time. BH photo, video, mic. Wait, order. It is a Podcast Pro. Paired with a UR22 Mark II. UR22. Wait, I just do this. Let me do this. I could put a link in there, right? Do links work? Let me know if this works. Let me know. This is my damn stream. Why can't I put it? Maybe I can put a link in here. I can do work on the fish room and watch your stream at the same time. You're so fancy. You're fancy too. You and Jake are super fancy. I still need to come over and look at that damn fish room once the vid is done. Sorry I'm late. Did you miss anything? Just Brandon. I was rambling a little bit. Corals only like blue light. Nitrates and phosphates should be almost zero. That is absolutely accurate. But not just blue light. UV light, which is called 410 nanometer by most manufacturers of lights, which is not accurate. But just blue. 2 schools of reefing. Double aught, 2 zeros. Or 50-10. I think 50-10 is good. I think if you got 50 nitrates and like 10, not 1.0 phosphates, I think that's the way to go. With blue light. If you're gonna put it in the middle there, add green. Green and blue together. It's fancy. I think that's what you should do. Have I mentioned that people who don't use equipment and have opinions about them offer bad advice? Oh, you know what I did? I saw a picture of a coral reseller and it was messed with. So I unmessed it. And it still looked really good. I don't know why people jack with their corals when they're going to sell them. But I totally de-edited their edit. Can you tell I didn't have any topics for today? I was hoping to get one of those Sodom Noomspuzz lights. It's still in the mail. What's going on with the United States Postal Service? Because it's lagging. Please hold. Only talk about items personally used for a period of time. Agreed. Everything is most amazing when it's free or when it's brand new and you're trying to justify your spend. Just give it some time. Those freaking Mitras LX7s were chilling on top of my frag tank for a really long time before I started really talking about them because I wanted to know. I mean, really. And I talked a little bit about this with Keith. Reef bum. Spectrum's kind of spectrum, right? As long as you can go to the internet, grab yourself a spectrum, throw it in your light, leave it alone, you're going to be successful with that light. As long as that light can mimic decent spectrum from other lights, or it is the exact spectrum from other lights, and you throw it in yours, you're going to be good to go. So, but you need to understand how to use the thing, right? So throw a spectrum in there, use it for a while, and see what's up. Try to offer good advice. I call that good advice. Hello there. Trust other people's opinion because it might not work for... Yeah, I agree. I think you can... I'm gonna say that wrong. Was it K? I think it was K. First opinions are like a-holes. Everyone has one, and they stink, right? I mean, it's an opinion. It's not a data-based, objective review or sharing of information. It's an opinion. And a lot of people will, what controller's best? And you see it all over the internet. What controller's best? Well, Apex is obviously best. GHL is obviously best. Coral View's Hydros is obviously best. And I think if you're already wearing their orange shirt, it's going to be best. That's the way it goes, right? I do it a little differently. I like them all. They're all down there. They're all running downstairs, from a Reef Keeper all the way up to a GHL P4 and everything else in between. I just want to be able to form my own opinion and share that. And then you take from that what you need. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. That's not going to work. That's not going to help you, right? I would suggest that you take everybody's opinions and sort of mash them together and see what makes sense. See what falls out of that. Amazon Red streams something. That microphone. I saw that calcium reactor. What is that? Newborn? New something? New whatever? Media? Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Installing an ATO and an algae turf scrubber and programming. Check that, Thomas. Configuring. One programs in Apex. One configures a GHL. Because you don't have to code stuff. Yeah, reborn, not newborn. Lynn, what did they change? I don't know that. I know nothing about calcium reactors. If somebody wants to hook me up with a calcium reactor, that's cool. I don't have a need for it, but if somebody wants to hook me up so I can learn and share, and don't do that. Give it to somebody who's going to like it more than me. But I'll totally take one if somebody wants to hook me up. I don't think I have a big enough tank to support that kind of business. I don't see the need. I'm really not going through that much two-part. 50.50. Angry Owls at 50 nitrates, 0.1 phosphates. Now, I mean, your corals are probably colorful. Only blue, only the cleanest, purest water. Water you could drink. Water you could stick your life straw in and suck up that goodness right there, right in your face hole, Bert, right? I'm so far behind. The wife said that the tank has to be nice. That's why I have to be so fancy. Jake, that's BS, dude. Don't blame that on your wife. That's not cool. Own it. If you want to be all picky about your tank, be picky. You don't have to blame that on your wife. Jeez. Rookie mistake. I think many people use that Reborn. Yeah, that one. DMV Reefer. Juan, that one. I don't know how to say it. So you can say snuggle Skype. You can psych. Snookums Skype. Snookum Psych. Or you say Sodom Noopsa from The Golden Child. You can say, and that's how Eddie Murphy said it, and that's not his real name. You can say, I don't know what you want to say. Whatever, that light. Hopefully I get it. I'd like to see it. Thomas took 3 weeks to get an order from Premium. Yeah, see what's going on there. I don't understand. I don't understand why. Wait, Thomas. Wait, what'd you have to do? You had to rebuild your GHL doser, the pump heads, because it is maintainable and because it is simple to do. I really do like those pumps. I'm sorry. I'm a fanboy. I'm sold. Once I started using it, I was like, oh, this is a good pump. That's the best. Look, my printer's running. I'll have to remember to turn that off. I have taken, I don't know what it's doing. I have taken all of my Camor X1s out of service. I think I'm going to keep runs nitrates 50 and 0.1. Anything lower. I think I'm going to keep a couple of those X1s. And if, like I said, take a look at the story on Instagram and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think it's time for a yard sale. So I don't know how many of those. I think I have 8 X1s, 7. I don't remember. I'm going to be. What's up, mermaids? I'll be posting stuff. It'll be a first come first serve. You know it's going to be cheap. Shipping is going to be actual, so I'll price accordingly. I think I have some stuff to say. I really don't need the stuff that I have in the garage, so maybe it's time to move that stuff. My live stream is... Oh, I have no idea what you're saying. What are you saying? Best is whatever works for you. That's absolutely accurate. That's absolutely accurate. Best is whatever you can get and whatever works for you. Best is whatever lasts the longest, and I can get parts easily. Also, Reef pie is obviously the best. Well, obviously it's the best. It has pie in it. You know what? There's a little baby pie up here for the Prussia. I need to figure out the installation of that. Adam, the Sodom Noomspa has not yet arrived. It shipped from New Jersey well over a week ago, and I'm like a couple states away, and it hasn't shown up yet. Currently, it's out Midwest somewhere. It got on the wrong plane or truck or something, and it went the way wrong way. I took a look at the picture that was sent to me with the address that was on there, and it was good. So I have no idea what's going on. It's out on a U.S. tour. Lynn rolling in with Toyota. You and Mighty Nanotank. Oh, wait. He bought a Dodge. He had a Toyota. He had that blue 4Runner thing, but then he bought a Dodge. His wife has a Lexus, which is a Toyota, so there's that. What works best for me is what is most or more convenient to use. Agreed. Best is so subjective, right? Best is if like BRS is top 10. No. That's top 10 stuff they want to sell you. Although I respect BRS as a reseller, right? As a retailer, And they provide a lot of decent information. Their job is to sell stuff. So their top 10 is good stuff with decent margins to help them be successful. Angry Owl prefers Lexus. Pinky up. Let's see. Reborn is junk right now. That sucks. I'm about to have my Toonsy calcium reactor available. Jake, if you add up all the Apex equipment needed to do the same thing that the Hydro Stud does, it would be $50 more. And with the Apex, you can see when the pump... So that's interesting. I'm going to have to go watch that. Malev did a stream. It would be $50 more. And the Apex, you see when the pump fails. If you're doing a price comparison between the Hydros and an Apex, you're already missing the point of the Hydros. I think. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you don't compare a Hydros to an Apex, and you certainly don't compare it to a GHL. I see them as different classes, right? I see the Hydros as like the old Reef Keeper. You had an Apex and you had Reef Keeper, and that's pretty much it. You had GHL, but it really wasn't a big deal. Maybe it was, and I just don't know. But I certainly had no awareness of it. And then Reef Keeper split, and I think you need something to take up that gap, right? The little baby GHL does a decent job of filling that gap, but so does the Hydros. I don't know that you take a Hydros and compare it to an Apex or a GHL. I think that's an unfair comparison. With the Apex, you can see when a pump fails, or you bought a Neptune pump and it failed. Is that what you mean? I've had that happen. But you can tell when the dose is working because it's loud as hell. So that's a feature. Thomas says, touche. I believe that's more douche. Way easier than Apex. Logic. I don't know. It's not logic. I've now used both. Opinion formed. Agreed. You configure a GHL and you program an Apex. And I still don't get the stupid icons. I've tried. I really did try. Lincoln Towns, you have entered a bad advice episode, and I apologize in advance. Anyone know what would cause me to have 0 nitrates? I'm actually trying to raise them and can't. It's arm hair. Every time you put your arm in the tank, nitrates bind to your arm hair, right? And your instinct is to pull your arm out of the tank and immediately wipe it off with a towel or fling it on the wall. I mean, it just depends on where you live. I've seen both. And that's what it is. The more, and people talk about this all the time, right? They're like, keep your arms out of the tank. That's why. Your arm hair totally coalesces all of the nitrates and then removes it from the tank. So if you just keep your arm out, you'll be good. You'll be good. If it's a real question, it could be a number of things, and I would just dose. With, you can do a couple episodes back, I talked about it, and I make my own, or you can buy surprisingly expensive retail stuff. Using a wait. Dibs on all the X1. Using the Apex, I'm 90% sure that the people that built it are Mac users. Absolutely not, Lynn. I would argue that 90% of the people who use an Apex are Android users because they just don't know any better. I went there. It's okay. I'll wait here. What's up, Tyler? Mr. Inland Reef. Send them Comores. You know what? I like those little Comores. They piss me off, but I like them. I wish there's no push notifications or no text or no email, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong and I didn't set it up. But when I put in my container size, right, and I put in how much juice I have in that container, how the hell do I know when it's empty? Do I have to set a calendar reminder based on how many days it says it's going to take to empty that jug? I want to be... I'm old, and I'm not going to remember to look. I need to know. I need a video on fragging my chest-size elegance coral. Work on that, if you will. Like, oh, who did that? Oh, thank you, Lynn. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. OG DMV, I am not drunk, but I'm glad you are, and I'm glad you're here. Honda family here. Carlos, Honda Civic Hybrid, 2005. Stick shift, probably the only one in existence. Honda Odyssey minivan. Acura Integra. Acura TL. Honda Accord. 3 Honda motorcycles, and a Honda mower. I got Honda covered. Well, at least I did. I still have 2 of those. I'm with you on the Hondas. I'm with you on the Hondas as long as they don't have a timing belt. What's up, Bill Ray? Bobby A. Jeep. Looking at an Aquamax. I don't know what all this means. Skimmer. Need to replace my skimmer. Thomas, I'm no good. I don't skim. I mean, there's a skimmer in the tank, and I've talked about it before, but it's really just an air stone. Brings in outside air and raises my pH. By the way, I calibrated my pH probe today, and it truly is going over 8.4. It was like 8.45. Oh, and I have a cool homemade looking kind of, and I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. A CO2 media reactor doohickey, and I'm going to try to knock the bottom out of, try to knock the bottom out of the pH. So the pH does reach 8.45, 8.5, but it will come down to 7.9, 8.0, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to knock the bottom out of that thing to raise it up to about 8.1. I'm going to try. I don't know that I'm going to be effective, but I'm going to try. I don't think anything is best if you get lucky with one brand. You usually wind up sticking with it. Yeah, totally. I like Hondas. I've always liked Hondas. I really like that minivan. That minivan's got 170,000 miles on it. It is the go-to travel beast, and it just keeps going. So, whatever. CoralView marketed as a budget option. It is a budget option. I think it is a good budget option. That Control 2, Control 4 is absolutely a great budget controller, but it's weird. It's weird to use. Oh, hey, Juan, I need to bring that Control 2 to you. So we got to figure that out. I can meet you in the middle, bring it to you, do whatever. Yeah, Lynn or Reef Girl starts at 9, right? Now the Hydros wave engine, the Apex, you can monitor the voltage. Or you could just, yeah, Jake, you can look in your tank and see your pump's not working. That's what I do. Actually, you know what? The 0 to 10 box that I have the J-Bows hooked up to, and the Profilux 4 controls them through that little box. When the J-Bows get too clogged up, such that they're cavitating or their amperage draw is different, they will slow down. So you don't even need to do power monitoring on a pump if you're using that thing, because the pumps just slow down, and they're not slowing down because they're like clogged. They're actually slowing down. The amperage going to them is reduced, and you can see that they're not making a wave anymore. And you pull those suckers out, hit them with a toothbrush, and boom, you're done. Jake, I was talking about the Hydros Control 2 or Control 4. C, arm hair. Bert knows. Laser hair removal. No, you just tear it right off. You get the stuff and you spread it on, and there's the commercials, and you don't use it on the downtown because that's not cool. But you just on your arm and you rip it right off. Like, was it Steve Carell? Mm-hmm. Like that. Not at all, Angry Al. I was totally. I hate the icons. I have to click through like all of them. Exactly. I hate those icons too. Why do they have to be pictures? Give me words, and the pictures don't tell me what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I'm behind Mermaid's Reef. Scotty, I'm a fool. I'm not funny. I'm just a fool. But thank you. King Tide, what's up? Let's see. I feel attacked. You shouldn't feel attacked. iPhone user here, 12 Pro Max. Oh, wait. What'd you just say? Nothing. Versa is the same way, and it pisses me off too. Oh. Angry Al, I'm way behind. What's up with the Versa? Hello, mother. Knitting PJ party was boring. I'd rather hang out with y'all. It must have been really boring. Weren't you playing poker? King Tide, you're talking about my Civic? Totally. The boy and I went over to it today because I replaced the big battery in that thing once, but I think it's probably got trash cells in it now because I hardly ever drive that car. I haven't really driven that car in 2 years. I'm only keeping it around to teach my kid how to drive stick, but and I'm getting closer to wanting to do that. He'll be 15 this year, and it's probably time he jumps in the driver's seat and we goes find us a parking lot to go run into stuff. But pulled the battery out today and brought it over and hooked it up to the battery collective I got downstairs in the closet. The battery backup for the tank, and yeah, good old stick shift Civic. Good times. That car. Cloth seats for life. Adam Moore, I'm sorry I'm catching up, so I'm probably can't agree with you on Apex programming. I have a very large Apex system. 90% of it is set up through the task. Yep, that's cool too. But I've seen both, right? Because I have 3 Apexes, and I have seen it both ways. You absolutely can set it up through the tasks. And that's how I set up like my auto water change with the Apex Junior and the dose. But if you got a website to help you program that thing, like then no. And I've asked questions how to do a particular thing, like if my pH dropped to below 8, I wanted it to drop below 7.8, then I wanted something to happen. I can't remember what it was, and I couldn't set that up through the tasks. I mean, it's cool that you can, but Ubuntu all the way. Ubuntu LTE back in the day, that was fun to play with. I used to play with that in an instance, goofing off with that. OnePlus 7 Pro Android for life until it breaks. GHL has been the opposite, but I admittedly have not compared them since the Profilux 2. Yeah, I hear you. I dig the P4. I dig the Apex Junior. I don't like those. I don't like those. Whatever the little ones. Those two, I don't like them. Plus, they look dumb. I like rectangles. The Junior's a rectangle. They should be rectangles. Honda Fit, Honda HR-V, Honda Civic, Honda Mower, Honda Generator, Honda Power Washer. Boom, Carlos coming in. I like that. That works for me. So, how do I get my euphilia to fully extend? All right, flow has to be off for this. And you're gonna drop your nitrates, right? Because it's inherent to the process, that coalescing nitrates on your arm hair and all. But you just got to stick your arm in there, and you have to, you just got to pull the. You don't want to use one of those pump things like they advertise on TV because that's not good. I mean, it's just going to cause problems. But if you want to make your euphilia longer, then you just have to stretch it a little. You just have to knead it. You have to give it a light tugging. And eventually, don't pull too hard because you're not going to get what you want. But if you just pull lightly, they'll extend. Then you'll be good to go. That cool, Seth? My '01 Nissan Xterra has 222,982 miles on it. You know what? My daughter got rid of my TL when it had like 260, something like that. I mean, I really wanted to see that car hit 300. I really did. It went away. Filipino Reefer, anytime. Always happy to try to help. Wax it. And Alibaba LED, diatoms. It's the brown stuff. What causes diatoms? You're not gonna want to hear this, right? Cosmic rays. I mean, there's nothing you could do about it. Once you get diatoms, whatever. New tanks get diatoms. Old tanks get diatoms. It's cosmic waves. Cosmic rays. My bad. Cosmic rays. You can't stop them. It's a chemical reaction at the molecular level. When a cosmic ray comes flying through an astronaut's helmet, it continues, goes through the brain, comes out the other end of the helmet. This really happens. And then it just travels down through thin spots in the ozone, hits your tanks. It's like the quantum zone in Ant-Man. All that kind of happens. Boom, diatoms. You just got to tough it out. That's what you got to do. I'm testing my lights first prior to buy more light. Do it. That's good. What are we waxing? Somebody's waxing something. I think my fish are causing diatoms. Nope, it's not your fish. I mean, your fish just have tiny little holes in their heads from the stupid cosmic rays. What's up, Moki? Gabe, we talked about you earlier. I hope you don't mind. Everybody's saying hi to Moki is going to give me a chance to catch up. In reference to not notifying you the container is empty. Like with the see, I'm way behind, and this is going to suck. Like the Control 2, like the Control 2 won't tell you when a container's empty, or I'm probably way off. Stick. King Tide, I have no idea what you're saying. I would switch to GHL, but I have been told it's a pain to get up and running. Nope. I'm not that computer savvy. Good, you don't need to be. How difficult is it to get the Profilux and a cage tractor up and running? You can do it in your sleep. It was no problem at all. Is this bad advice? Because I'm not going there. That was really easy to set up. The doser's easy, right? I mean, calibrating those dosing heads is stupid simple. You got to measure out your sample tube length. You may have to play with that volume a little bit just to get it right. That was the hardest part for me, and really all that was a little bit of trial and error. It was stupid easy to do. Enjoy your dinner. Cloth seats for life. Cage tractor was really easy to set up. No experience with Profilux. True. Totally easy to set up. I mean, once you got the pump heads dialed in and the tubing lengths perfect, you're done. You hook it all up and it just works. I had no problem. I saw people talking about air bubbles and stuff. I don't know where the air bubble would be that would cause the problem. The first thing I did when my cage tractor showed up is I took the screws out. I popped the top and I looked inside. And then there's a recirc pump in there. And Tyler knows. There's a recirc pump in there It keeps the fluid moving and mixed when it's injecting the acid. So I found that pump online and I bought 2 because I wanted to have the spares for that thing. I think Tyler got his too. But yeah, super easy to set up. I tested my tank today and ALK came up. Mermaids Reef, which one are you laughing about? Because maybe I missed it. I tested my tank today and ALK came up as 5.64. I have no corals. Would this be a risk for the fish, or can I wait until my next water change? Reef Doink, that's a sweet name. It's the lenses in the fish eyeballs, as well as their teeth, will absorb alkalinity as the fish grow. I mean, that's part of the natural process of life, right? How do you think, between calcium and alkalinity, how do you think we're getting these chompers, right? How do you think these bones form? Who did that? Thank you, Thomas. That's very nice. Thank you very much. So that's what it is. Your fish are absorbing your alkalinity and calcium. It's not dangerous for the fish. They'll just stop growing. So, I mean, that's good to note. If you buy big tank, or if you buy small tanks, I mean, this is how like miniature poodles, this is how it's done. They just restrict their diet. They restrict the alkalinity and calcium that the dogs absorb, and it just makes them miniature. Same thing for the fish. So if you get tanks, right, because everybody hates a big tank and a small tank. I might know about this. Hey, Thomas, hurry up and get your tank ready, okay? Because I kind of showed it on Keith's stream the other day. So you just limit the amount of alkalinity and calcium that is in the water, and your fish will stay small. No ish. It'll totally work. Does the stretching technique work on other things? Angry Owl, I was not alluding to anything else while I was trying not to laugh and provide that explanation. Okay? So, Troy, is the arm hair a serious thing? I thought it's totally serious. Like, you see these big hairy people, they should not have reef tanks, or they should go to Tractor Supply, and they should get those big gloves that you get when you got to tickle a cow or a horse the wrong way. Something just made some noise in my head. That way, you don't collect the nitrates on your arm hair. And those freaking sweater-looking wearing Sasquatch-looking mofos, they need that cow tickler glove to mess in their tank. That's a thing. That's for real. My arm hair is higher in phosphates. Bert, I thought you were hairless. I thought all that working out, because, right? I mean, that's what happens. Like, people who work out a whole lot, their hair falls out. Like, their arms and legs, they don't have any hair on them. I thought that's like a thing. Right? That's what I think. Solar flares. Solar flares? No. Solar flares don't cause diatoms. They cause dinos. That's why it's sometimes difficult to tell what you have, right? Because they look really similar. And how the hell are you supposed to know the difference between a solar flare and a cosmic ray? I'm not going to know. I don't live in, like, Winnipeg, and I can't tell if there's, like, northern lights and stuff. Jeez. I can't seem to be able to keep Ghani. They always stop polyp extension. It began to bleach out for some reason. I mean, I hate to say it, but people put a lot of toenail clippings in their calcium reactors. I mean, Lynn knows what's up. She don't Don't let her for a second tell you she's not doing this. Toenail clippings in your calcium reactor will feed a Goniopora. Angry Owl, the only way to prevent them is to wrap your home in foil. Nope, that doesn't work. It goes right through it. That's not right. It goes through lead. I mean, you put these freaking cosmic ray sensors way deep underground. It goes right through the freaking earth. They're picking them up. Foil won't help. Nope. I found the best way to use Apex Neptune system. Their ATO system has 4 levels of redundancy, can be used completely standalone without an Apex controller, and is cheaper than... Yep. I have not used one, but I've seen that, and that's cool that you offer that opinion. I wondered about that. So it's kind of like how GHL has a alkalinity tester that doesn't require a controller, right? It just needs a standalone dosing pump. I talk about it too much. What's up, Dar Sanchez? No, well, Mermaid's Reef, it's the astronauts' fault in that they didn't stop them, right? They didn't stop the cosmic rays. They didn't hold up one of those dark side of the moon prisms and bounce that sucker off someplace else. I mean, that's really the only thing they could do. Other than that, it's just going to go right through them. 42 peeps and only 21 likes. I'm really not, B, I'm not funny today. Nor am I providing any, data because nothing showed up in my house. What have I ordered? I already talked about the nitrate, not nitrate. I talked about the CO2 thingy. I ordered some of that media from Amazon. I have received nothing cool. Is there anything downstairs? I mean, we could talk Instagram real quick. I normally start out like that, but I didn't do it. Driving stick will be a lost concept in 10 years. King Tide Corals, I would argue that you driving your car, will be a lost concept very, very soon. Thanks. I think it's a good idea. I think he needs to know how, right? I mean, if he does that, then he'll basically know the concept of... like if he rides a dirt bike or something, he'll understand the clutch throttle interface and the whole shifting and doing whatever, all that kind of stuff, right? I think when I have the opportunity to teach him, I did the same thing with my daughter. I'm going to do it. But to your point and adding on to it, I think in 10 years, I won't have to drive at all. At least that's my plan. And I'd like to fly places, like on a rocket, and go to Australia and pick up and take them corals or pick up corals or whatever. Go for lunch. That's what I want to do. What type of controller do you recommend for a 120-gallon without a sump? Mixed Reef, 5 years old. I really want to do a bad advice here. The controller that works for you, quite honestly. I have an E-Coral, I've got a Reef Keeper, I've got 3 Apex, and I have 2 GHL. I prefer, me personally, the GHL. The E-Coral's got a really cool interface, but I can't rely on it. It has treated me poorly a couple times. Apex, I don't like the icons. And I just don't like the interface. I don't like the way it works. And one of them broke on me. And the GHL hasn't broken. None of that stuff is broken. So, whatever works for you. It's kind of a budget thing. If somebody asks me what kind of camera to buy, how much money you want to spend? What kind of computer? How much money? It's that kind of thing. Again, Thomas, Seth. Did I say thank you, Seth? Thank you so much, Seth. Do you think I could modify a board stretcher that they sell at Lowe's? Thanks for the advice. A board stretcher that they sell at Lowe's. What do you need to do? Do you need a bigger fish tank and you want to use a board stretcher to make your tank bigger? Or using a board stretcher to to increase the length of your euphyllia's tendrils. I had a fish that really consumed large amounts of both alk and Cassie. Bert knows. Knowing's half the battle. Something I find funny, and probably I'm the only person on the planet that finds this funny, is that if somebody goes, hashtag your mom, isn't that like pound your mom? I don't know. It's not cool. I hope my mother didn't hear that. Reef Doink, thanks. That was really helpful. I questioned your theory. I had laser, and my tank is still... I had laser. I too had laser. Lynn, what are you talking about? Good thing I shaved my arms. See? You could also do that. I mean, you could work out a whole lot and your arm hair falls out. At least that's the way it looks. Or you can shave your arms. And that way it won't impact your nitrates. My fish get sad if alk falls below 8 because they can't grow, Bert, right? And they just want to grow. They want to live and be free and all that business. Is that why my 6-year-old clowns are so small? Yes, that is absolutely why. Low alk. It's that low alk life. It's that low alk life for clowns. Sketched out. Russell, is this yeah, dude. It was you. You and I were going back and forth about this today, right? That's you? Anybody out there using a Comorax 1 with like an Android, I'm assuming an Android device, and it's not paying attention to your programming, give a shout out if that's the case. I don't have that problem. Oh, thank you, Moki. I just caught up. I don't have that problem on iOS. But if Russell's a person I think I was talking to earlier, then absolutely there's something going on with Comores, which has nothing to do with me pulling all of mine out of service because I actually plugged one in today just to test. Arm hair can't grow on steel. Is that blue steel? Just wondering. Yes, I'm the one that made those nail clippings. See? Nail clippings for cash. Thank you, Moki. That's huge. Thank you very much, sir. KH Keeper, Jake Birch. Which one's that? Is that the one Lynn has? I think so. Oh, Lynn retracted a message. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. Teleportation. No. I want to enjoy the ride. I mean, that's a book, and there's this whole video series on that. I want to enjoy the ride, right? So, I mean, it's not necessarily about the destination, king tide corals. Sometimes you just want to chill. I mean, if that chill involves me going and eating lunch in Australia because I jumped on one of Uncle Elon's rockets out in the Port of Baltimore, went up, came down, did a little eating, did a little touring, did a little whatever, and jumped back on Uncle Elon's rocket and landed back here. That'd be a sweet ride. I don't need teleportation if I got Uncle Elon's rocket. What's up, Anthony? Advanced Air Mobility, Urban Air Mobility. AAMUAM. Brandon, what are you doing? AAMUAM. It doesn't say something like pound your mom, so I don't know what that is. Let's see. Do you run a UV sterilizer? Only in my toilet. Bert, thank you very much. This is very kind of you. Thank you. I have, Troy, I've got one of those ones that Moki has, that green killing machine, whatever that is. Same thing that that Keith Berkelhammer Reef Bum runs. It's just a portable thing, right? You stick it in your tank if you think you got a problem. It lives in the garage, and I pull it in the house every once in a while if I think maybe I have a problem. So yes, but I don't run one constantly. Oh, you know what? There is a big one in the garage because when I bought a chiller, a guy's like, give me $20 more and you can have this. I was like, okay. So I do have a larger sterilizer, a larger UV in the garage, but I just don't use it. Oh, Dad. That's special. Do you? My tank consumes everything I add in there. There's something to be said about that, Carlos. My pH went down to 7.4 for the past weeks. Wonder if that causes the STN. Yeah, that's pretty. That's way more acidic than you'll find out there in the ocean. Started up the damn CO2 scrubber again for a few days. 7.4 is low. Is it? I mean, that's the low. That's like the bottom. Or, I mean, what's it come up to, Lynn? Cage Keeper. Oh, I messaged Cage Keeper, and they told me they don't have distribution yet in the U.S. Is that the one? That's the little one we were looking at? Yes. I have questions about that. You know my questions. My X1s are flawless. Yeah, I've had great luck with my X1s, except for that one time when they updated the software and I lost them all. Coral View, jerks. But I've never had a problem with them. They've always dosed, not like a Jabo, where it just like you program it, it just sits there. Like that. I have that problem with the X1. Careful. Interesting. Yeah, you're on Android, aren't you, Lynn? Scrolling. Uncle Elon. Yup. Yeah, it is low. I'm all the way down at the bottom. What? I need to run a UV in all of my toilets. My kids do yes. So if you take a UV, I said I run it in a toilet, and I do. If you take the back off, if you've ever taken the back off a toilet, it's all nasty and brown back there. It's nasty. It's not poo brown. It's a different kind of brown. If you put a UV sterilizer in there, no more brown. You know, some people will drop those blue things in there to have the blue water toilet thingies. If you have a UV in there, you don't need that. And it smells like rainbows and butterflies. Like that. Oh, we got another retracted message. That's terrible. I wonder if I'm able to see it and then it goes away. I'm going to have to look. That's an hour. Wait. Savage Reefer was laughing because he was going to ask me totally inappropriate questions. Like, I mean, that's how those UKers roll, right? Let me look real quick. Inappropriate Reefer. Whoa! Look at you with the fancy pipette. Where'd you get that? Did you get that from Amazon? I was thinking about that. See, that's pro level. That's top shelf right there. Go look at Moki's Instagram post. Womp womp. No questions. That's fine. And like I said, take a look at my story and you can see the yard sale that I totally need to have. Quick dinner with the fam. What you have? Toilets love blue light. Inappropriate Reefer House, a Dino Battle. Toilets are 410. Bro. You're killing me, Thomas. You're killing me. 410 is UV only if it's coming from Ecotech. And Bulk Reef Supply. See? Rainbows and butterflies. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm going to run through this real quick. We could talk about what I had going on. Is this going to work? It is going to work. Like I said, shout out to Keith because that was cool. I enjoyed that. That guy knows what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. He knows what he's doing. Oh, I've been playing with this. So, and I've talked about this a little bit, and I think this is pretty sweet. But this is the active control of my alkalinity pump. So this is the Doser 2.1 from GHL, and it is actively controlling its dose to maintain an alkalinity of 8.0. And I think this is pretty sweet. I think I talked about this because this was a frag. I fragged that big chalice, that Hollywood Stunner. And it knew that my alkalinity was rising, so it slowed down the dose accordingly. Wait. Oh, I missed. I don't want to fall behind in chat again. Jim, do you feel lighting or stability is a key for coral growth? Neither. Corals. Corals are key to coral growth. Everything else is... And why am I so dark? This is weird. It looks like that light's not working. Oh, I had a party foul. Yeah, corals are key to coral growth. Totally. I'm going to wire up this other light because that's irritating me. How often do you test alkalinity? Oh, you're asking me how often? It used to be once a week, and now it's 4 times a day. Do I need an Apex Trident and dosing pump having a 40 breeder? No. And that's not bad advice. You do not. I would argue you don't ever need an Apex Trident. But if you have one, that's cool. And certainly you don't need that kind of technology on a 40 breeder. You don't need it on a big tank. It's kind of what you want to do. It's not a need thing. Arm hair is not. Arm hair is detrimental to coral growth. It strips your tank of nitrates and your corals starve. You don't want to do that. We've already discussed this. I'm unable to connect to my X1s because Google Wi-Fi router blends. Hold on, Seth. You just saw real time how long it takes me to think about stuff. Is that an X1 Pro? Because Kimura X1s are Bluetooth. So, are you tricking me? Yeah, Kimura X1s are Bluetooth. They're no Wi-Fi. I started dosing the Red Sea Trace colors a month ago, and wow, what a difference. Oh, hey, Troy, you being serious? Because I'm that stuff is magic. Like, it works for me, and I've been dosing. I'm through my, I don't know, 5th or 6th bottles of that stuff, of the big bottles, and it really does work. I'm looking forward to somebody doing a DIY version because I think it could be substantially cheaper. Because I think we're just paying for a lot of water. But yeah, not bad advice. Coral Sea Trace Colors really does do a good job. Now, ICP to make sure you're not overdoing it. But yeah, it totally works. I run a separate router for that reason. You guys are killing me. Kimura X1s are Bluetooth. They're not Wi-Fi. I run a separate router. Oh, that's my arm air. No, mine is filled with soy sauce from the pores. Helps coral. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a rookie Caucasian mistake right there. Right? That's me not being aware, and I should be. I stand corrected. Thank you. See, all these years, and I still make that mistake. I'm running a calcium reactor on my 10-gallon softy tank. How do I set and forget it? You pin the pH. You run that thing balls to the wall. That's how you do it. And then you only dose at night because that's when pH drops. So you want to try to, well, you're going to have to do some calc because you're using a calcium reactor, right? So you're going to have to blend them. So I would mix them in a separate tank, calcium reactor juice, kalkwasser juice, and then dose from that into your tank, but only at night to raise that nighttime pH thing. And you got to keep it moving. This way, not this way. This way won't work. It has to be this way. And it doesn't matter if you're Southern Hemisphere or not. It's this way. Okay? These are really simple questions. I don't understand. Who was the guy from last week that lived close to the ICP lab? No, I haven't seen that. I'd have to go back and look. Trace colors is only 1 milliliter of each once a week in my 30s. See, you could do it that way because I'm hardly dosing that stuff at all. And if you want to know a secret, I have it dialed in also because if you think, right, if you're doing this right, alk and calcium are balanced. So you should be dosing the same amount of both. If your Red Sea, this is not bad advice. This is just crazy advice. If your Red Sea trace colors is based off your calcium dosing and your calcium dosing is based off of your alkalinity uptake, then all of them should be like doing this together. It's like this, and it's fancy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I have it set up. I really do. Calcium reactor juice, yes, sir. The secret sauce, the secret low pH sauce. 4 X1s for the Red Sea colors. No, Lynn, you're going to need a GHL doser 2.1 standalone to do it right. That's what I think. This is really dark. How many drops of kalkwasser do you drip per minute? All right, Jake. That involves math. How many drops are in a milliliter? Because that's a thing. I believe it's 20. Is that not right? Is it 20 drops per mil? Mil to drops. Yep, it's 20. So if I'm dosing... 22 drops per minute. That's really a thing. 20 drops is a milliliter. Is there any cons on adding other elements to my actual dosing containers? Yes. Like mixing aminos with acro power with my calcium? Yes, don't do that. Or adding Chaeto Grow, which I think is just... Oh, look at me going brain dead. Chaeto Grow to my ALK container. I only have 2 dosing pumps. Yeah, get 2 more dosing pumps. Don't be mixing stuff up because you don't want to do that. Because you don't do that. You got to know your chemistry to do that, and I just wouldn't do it. I'd go spend like very little money on a couple Camors if that's how you got to roll. Oh, this launch has slowed down. When watching your tank, are you watching the fish or are they watching you? Trick question. Yeah. Not bad advice answer. My fish watch me. So the fish in the frag tank, that glass isn't clean. Not at all. Not even a minute. And they come up to the spots where they can see through and look at me because they know I'm bringing food. So we watch each other. So no false choice cue ball. There's no or. There's and. My fish watch me while I'm watching them. It's always time to eat for fish. It is always time for eat. Gabe, 17. Seth. Are you telling me the X1 Pros need 2.4 gig to work? Really? They're not running off 5 gig, and that's why, because it's blended, and you got to create a guest Wi-Fi just to use your stupid pumps? Huh. Good or bad? Kalkwasser in a 10-gallon brute bucket ATO. Please, no. Philippine Reef, you are not adding Kalkwasser to your ATO, correct? And Jabo dosing pump, 4 times a day, 1 mil alk, 1 mil calcium. Good or bad? Kalkwasser in a 10-gallon brute bucket ATO. Don't do that. Jabo dosing pump, 4 times a day, 1 mil alk cals. That's you got to test, right? So base your dosing off of testing because you don't know if your tank needs. If you're not dropping, so don't dose, right? Measure your alkalinity at 6 p.m. don't dose anything. And then tomorrow at 6 p.m., test your alkalinity. If it hasn't changed, don't dose. If it has changed 0.5, don't dose. If it has changed 1, I mean, you can. You just got to be careful. If it has changed 1, then start considering dosing. The other stuff, mag, no pox. I dose both of those. That's cool. But really, please don't put calc. Unless you don't have, maybe you don't have seasons. If you don't have seasons, then put your calcwasser in your ATO. It depends on the viscosity of whatever you're dropping. Well, yeah, it does. But on average, 20. I mean, you get all technical. Gabe's getting all technical on me, and he's totally right. But it also depends on how big your dropper is, how big the drop forms, right? Does a millimeter in the mountains weigh the same as it does in the ocean? No. Nope. The force of gravity, in conjunction with the lack of oxygen, right? Gravity is you're lighter in the mountains, right? Gravity is lower the higher up you get. At sea level, gravity is absolutely more intense. So if you're feeling bad about yourself, go up the mountain and weigh yourself, and you'll feel better. It'll help. But take oxygen with you, because anything above like 12,000 feet, us fat old people, we're not going to be able to handle that without acclimation. Acclimation matters. It's 5 because I don't have 2.4. Oh, I'm wrong. They are 2.4. Yeah. You know what? J-Bo's the same way. They only run on 2.4s. Whatever. Who does that? How much calcwasser mix would you need to raise 0.1 DKH per 100 gallons? There's a calculator for that, and I've shared it in the past, and it's in some of my past streams. There's a calculator for that, and I'm not going to guess, and I'm not going to pull it up real quick because I'll just sit here like an idiot while everybody just chats. Notice that a lot of Chinese brands 2.4 cheaper. Yeah, they do. Not enough. Ooh, I have one I get to hide or show. Let me see. Not enough explanation on how to use mathematical. Yeah, I mean, you just use that calculator, and it'll tell you how much calc. So always make your calc 2 teaspoons per gallon. Only do that. Don't mix it half strength. Don't do any of that. Always mix full strength, full saturation, and then dose that liquid accordingly. Thomas, cue balls, just like that, you're the idiot and wrong. Wait, cue balls. How do you nicely tell people in forums that they're an idiot and they're wrong? Like Southern people do. How do Southern people do it? Oh, aren't you a joy? You got to do it like that. If you look up Southern sayings, you'll find all the ways to call somebody an a-hole in a very nice and polite way. That's good advice. Show. Thomas, the algorithm thought you were bashing on cue balls. That's fun. That's why I felt so fat on vacation. Right, because you're at sea level, you're at the beach, you're enjoying yourself. Maybe you've had one too many burgers, but really it's just the lower elevation. That's why I lived at 4,000 feet, because it made me feel better about myself. It was my safe place. Bert, Lynn is talking about you, and she is saying you operate slower than the rest of us. You are operating at 2.4 and not at 5 like us. I said us. Yeah, see? It was the sea level. Yeah, bless your heart. See, Gabe's got it. Gabe's from the South. He knows what's up. Oh, bless your heart. That means, oh, shit, you're a dumbass. That's what that means. I know. Worst thing ever in the South. Nope. Once you understand the translation. I worked for, actually, I didn't work for, this guy worked for me. And anytime he would say absolutely, he was telling me something completely different, and I knew it. And it was his little joke. Does Kalkwasser only boost magnesium? Yes, it does. That's why people dose it. Just magnesium. Every other impact that you may see through testing is fake. It's fake news of dosing. Passive aggressive is the way. Yeah, like Canadians, eh? That's how they roll. T5 budget fixtures. I offer no recommendations for T5 budget fixtures, but I did buy a one intended for plant growth from Amazon once, and you could probably go find one of those 4 bulbs for pretty cheap, but don't do that. Go get some LEDs. In less than 10 years, you're not going to be able to buy T5s. They're going to be gone. Blew my mind when I saw that. They even gave a screen that pops up that says it's not compatible. Yeah, I mean, a lot of equipment's like that. Yeah, it's kind of suck. Oh, Thomas, thank you so much. Bless your heart too, sir. Very good advice. Thanks. I am testing daily. Oh, that's another thing. I think people test too much. In some cases, ignorance is bliss, so don't test so much. But you don't know won't hurt you, right? You don't know what your alkalinity is because you didn't test. What do you care? Don't test. Oh, wait, there's stuff to show. Mine smells like rice. That's funny. Why not calc in a 10-gallon brute bucket? If it is just calc and not ATO, then that's okay. If you have seasons, don't put calc in your ATO because your alkalinity is going to be all over the place seasonally. Absolutely, Gabe. Absolutely. Well, shit, I tell my parents, bless your heart, all the time. Show. That's quality. New Jersey, we are just straight up. Roger that. You are. I'm showing it. See, I like how the algorithm thinks we're all yelling at each other tonight. I bet this is going to impact. I'm going to have to request manual review for monetization, right? Not knowing is half the battle. Sometimes that is absolutely accurate. Remember when we were going to, oh, dang, I need to go test alk. Nah, just blow it off, Lynn. Remember that little pump I was talking about inside the cage director? Here's the cage director. Here's the doser 2.1. And here's the tiny little recirculation pump that lives inside this thing to keep that the sample under test homogeneous. Keeps it all mixed up real nice. This is a tubs. If y'all need tubs, Stellata, did I say that right? It sounds like ice cream. Let me know. This thing has more polyps than it has freaking skeleton. It is a really interesting tubs. I don't know if they're all like this and it's just happy. I don't know what's up. But, you know, red and green. This, I don't know. Aficionado calls this a staghorn. It could be. I don't know what it is. It's very big. It's like, my hands are small. It's like this big, but my feet are big. I don't know. And this is the Bahama Llama. Whatever the hell it's called. Weeping Willow. Cool, right? That's my Instagram update for the week. Yay. Back to chat, and I think I'm going to be bailing soon. Both good and bad advice requested. Thoughts on running your ATO lines in Panduit. Oh, I just got a subscriber. It just showed up. That thing never shows. I love it. Hey, JKs. Thoughts on running ATO lines in Panduit with your cables. May or may not currently doing this. First, life achievement that you and I both know what Panduit is. I would say it's okay, but drill yourself an occasional ID hole just to see if something comes out. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it as long as you can get to those lines, right? As long as you can pop the top off the Panduit and get to the... I'm okay with it. Thomas, I'm okay with that. Use calc to kill green hair algae. Best bad advice ever. Totally. So that's a thing. If you drain the water out of your tank and then you sprinkle dry kalkwasser on your rocks and coral and everything, and you set a timer on your Alexa, I don't want to say it loud because there's one behind me, for 10 minutes, green hair algae gone. Don't ever do that. Is there a lot of show hide messages? I have shown every message that has popped up, Gabe. So the algorithm has caught, 4 or 5 of them so far, which is pretty interesting. How do you get tin out of the water? You get one of those really not good magnets that you're not supposed to use in a reef tank, and you just dip it like this. You just splash it around in there, and it pulls it out. If you're asking me legitimately, I have no idea. There's a stuff. DM me on Instagram, and I'll show you what I have. I'm not sure it does anything. It might just make me feel better, but Southern hospitality is the best. Bless your heart. Agreed, Seth. Later, Filipino Reefer. Bert, Lynn, nope. Roger that. I'll take all 3. Corals, happy, but... What are you telling me, Bert? I can't wait for you to ship. Local pickup would be too far for me from Michigan. Thomas, it would be a bit of a haul, buddy. Polyfilter. Yep, that's one way. There's a somebody made a liquid that you could dose, and it's like arm hair and nitrates. It just grabs it, takes it, throws it in your skimmer, and then you're good to go. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. 6-line eats. Yep. Or you can get a 6-line because it eats tin. Well done, Bert. All right, y'all. I'm bailing. Thank you so much for hanging out. I absolutely had no topic tonight, as you can obviously tell, and I really appreciate everybody hanging out and having fun with me. I hope you laughed a little bit here and there as well. I hope everybody... Thanks, Carlos. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your families are well. Keep your head down still, please. We didn't even talk about the activities of this week. Holy crap. Stay safe. Still bumpy times and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of craziness. And you know what? I'm along for the ride. Let's hang out. Let's maintain our sanity through whatever, through sharing, through helping people, through Instagram, through whatever works, right? Thanks you all very much. Those who threw in super chats, that's super cool of you. Thank you so much. And really everybody who is engaged and eats tin like Bert's 6-line. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all hanging out. All right. So happy Saturday. Happy reefing, and be kind, everybody. Thank you. Oh, my God. How far away is that screen to turn this off? Okay, bye.